Hey guys, it's Olivia and I'm back with another video. So, if you are a recurring viewer of mine, then the title might surprise you a little bit because I would hope that you think that I'm a fairly good person. And the title is talking about me having stolen something before. But this is a story time, so you will hear the full story. And yeah. But before we get into this week's video, be sure to subscribe to my channel because I make new videos every Monday. I make anywhere from story times like this to how to make money online videos to pop socket videos. And with all that being said, let's get into this week's video. So here's the story of how I stole a pair of shoes, but I kind of didn't, but I kind of did. So this was back in the 9th grade and I was 15 years old. So basically, this took place at a track meet. So if you know me or if you've watched any of my previous videos or you watch my live streams, you'll know that I'm a track athlete. And so back in high school, I was on the track team. And so this was taking place at the area meet. So basically, you have like 3 meets or so that don't really mean anything. You just go there to compete, to have fun, to see what your time is. And then areas is the first meet for elimination. So you have areas, then regionals, then provincials. Or if you're American, state. So provincials is kind of where you want to get to, right? So this was the first round. And so if you don't qualify in this round, then your season's over. So throughout the day, I had taken place in various events. I did the 80-meter hurdles, the long jump, and the triple jump. And if you've ever been to a track meet before, you will know that relay is typically the last event. So I was on the grade 9 girls 4x1 relay team, and it was time for the relay. And so we warmed up together, we'd practiced baton exchanges, all that stuff, and now it was time to put on our spikes. If you don't know what spikes are, these are my current spikes, and as you can see, they have little spikes in the bottom, and so they basically just help you to grip, and you are supposed to run on the balls of your feet. But anyways, just to give you a visual, these are what spikes are, and if you are a competitive runner, you most likely own a pair of these for your specific event. Anyways, so it was time to put on our spikes. So I went to our team's tent and I went to my bag and I looked through my bag and I couldn't find my spikes. And I was like freaking out because there was like 10 minutes till it was time for us to run. And so I had like this large duffel bag and I was taking everything out of it. I was taking out my sweatpants and my sweater and my water bottle and just everything that was in there. I was like tearing through it. Couldn't find my spikes. And I need these to run. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like once you wear spikes for the first time, you can't run in running shoes anymore. Like sneakers, nah. You need these if you're gonna run fast in a race. So as I said, relay is typically at the end of the day. This was about 5:30 p.m. The last event I competed in was at about noon. And so if you know me, whenever I'm at a track meet, when I'm not competing, I'm always cheering on my teammates. So a track meet is very big. Like you have the 400-meter oval, which is the actual track. You have the infield, and then at this particular place, across the street is where there's the javelin, and then down the hill is where there's shot put, and off to the side is where like long jump, triple jump, all that stuff is. And so there's so much space, and I'd been everywhere because I was competing in different places. I was on the track for the hurdles, and I was over by the pit for long jump, and then I was watching my friends compete in throws and stuff, so I was everywhere. So I was like, the last time I remember having my spikes was 5.5 hours ago. Do you know how many places I've walked in the past 5.5 hours? I was like, I do not have time to walk this whole place because by the time I do that, the race is gonna be over. Then I remembered. A friend of mine had the exact same spikes as me. The only thing is, I didn't know if they were the same size. So, for the purpose of this story, let's call him Joe. I was like asking everyone, I'm like, do you know where Joe is? Like, I need to find Joe. I need to see if I can use his shoes, blah, 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 blah. Nobody knew where Joe was. So then I was like, does anyone know which one of these bags is Joe's? And then someone was like, oh, it's that red one over there. And I was like, oh, okay. So I opened his bag and I found his shoes, and like I lifted up the tongue of the shoe and saw that they were the same size as my shoes. And I was like, if this isn't a sign, I don't know what is. Because the thing is, you know how, for example, with heels, how you have to like break them in, like you're not going to wear them for the first time on a night out when you're going to be on your feet for 4 hours. Like that's the same thing with like spikes. Like you don't want to compete in shoes that you've never worn before. So he had the exact same shoes as me in the exact same size. Okay, so then there was one of our teammates who was sitting under the tent, and I was like, hey, if you see Joe and he asks where his shoes are, tell him they're on my feet. And I just ran with them. I took them and then I went to the start line, because everybody, like, you have to check in with your whole team, and then you have to like sit in a line of like the order that you're going to be running in, because there's 4 people in a relay, so you have to sit in your order. And so I just copped those shoes and I ran. But before the race started, Joe miraculously appears. And then he comes up to me and he's like, are those my shoes? And I was like, yup. And he was like, okay, you can wear them. Just make sure to put them back when you're done. And then we ran the race. We ended up winning, by the way. But yeah, that's my story. That's the story of the time I like stole someone's shoes, but like kinda didn't, but like kinda did. And no, Joe wasn't mad at me or anything. But like, did I really steal his shoes? I don't know. I don't know what the definition of theft is, but I would assume it's something along the lines of taking something without permission, which I technically did. But I took them with every intention of giving them back, and I did. And I love how I'm trying to justify taking someone else's things without their permission. But the thing is, Joe and I were friends. And you know how you have that one friend who, like, you can go to their house, open their fridge, and they don't care? So, like, me and him were definitely not at that stage of friendship. We had met between, like, 3 and 5 weeks ago. But I just kind of knew that he wouldn't mind. So then I took them. So I, like, stole them, but, like, didn't, but, like, did. I don't know. I've been contemplating making this video for like a year, but the reason it took me so long is because like I don't know if this is a lame story or not, because I didn't like go into a store and steal some shoes, but like I did take someone's stuff without permission. So I don't know, maybe that's super lame, and maybe I didn't actually steal it. I don't know. Maybe now if someone asks me, hey, have you ever stolen something before? Maybe I have to say yes. I don't know. But that's just the story of 15-year-old me being somewhat criminal. So that's all for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you think your friends will enjoy it, be sure to share it with them. All my social media links will be down below in case you want to follow me on there. Be sure to subscribe to my channel because I make new videos every Monday, and I'll see you next Monday with a new video. Side note, I did end up finding my spikes. They were a lot easier to find after the hundreds of people left, and there was just this one lonely bag on the infield. So just wanted to tie up that loose thread. Thanks for watching the video.